Evening guys, welcome to episode 15 answer video from Stats for Strokes. Right, we'll get straight into what we are going to be answering today, because 3 days ago I posted the questions and it was a two-part question, so I'll briefly pop them up on the screen. I have got the chat code, so you can pop in the chat if you wish, no problems there whatsoever. Let's go find the answer. Let's do the full answers first. There we go. That was what the part 1 and part 2 was. So part 1 is what distance does a zero handicap golfer, a scratch handicapper, take 4 shots to get the ball in the hole 50% of the time? At what distance does a zero handicap golfer, scratch golfer, very good golfer, take on average 4 shots to get the ball in the hole 50% of the time? Harry's in the house. We got Harry. We've got the chat obviously behind the questions. Harry's in there. Hello, Harry. Hope you're well. And then part 2 is from 125 yards. This is obviously fairway driven and all that lot. This is not from the rough or anything. It's all from the fairway. From 125 yards, what is the percentage of times a 20 handicap golfer takes 5 or more shots to hole out? There you go. So we had quite a few answers. Actually, this one was one of the closest when it comes to the spread of answers. Now, generally speaking, when it comes to the answers, you get a concentration of very, very close ones, very, very close to the actual number, and then you get a certain amount of weird and wonderful ones. Sometimes because people haven't answered the question properly, but then also because of what they thought is not quite exactly right. But that's the whole idea of it. The whole idea is to educate everybody into understanding how stats can really help your game. I'm a great advocate of statistics. I use stats myself when it comes to me understanding where I need to practice, where I need to get better at. Again, there's a lot of people down the driving range, you see it all the time, always practicing their favorite golf club, because that's the golf club they like using because it's their favorite. Generally speaking in golf, guys, is not how good your good shots are, because they're always good. It's how good your bad shots are, because they're the ones that cost you shots. So let's go straight into answer for part 1. Part 1 is at what distance does a zero handicap golfer take 4 shots on average to get the ball in the hole 50% of the time? 50% of the time. So before we answer this one, we have to understand that even at zero handicap golfer, 50% of the time, they are not going to par every single hole all the time. Even a scratch handicapper won't go round in par. They'll go round on average around about +3. And so 50% of the time, they are making more, generally speaking, they'll make more bogeys than birdies. Obviously a zero handicap running at about a +3 on average. And so 50% of the time, they'll be running higher up than lower, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So let's go to answer 1. Ready? 225 yards, which is a surprise to some and not too many. I was very surprised actually with the spread of answers being very concentrated. Yes, we got a few weird and wonderful ones, but actually on average, everyone done very, very well when it comes to the answers. So I've had to be a little bit more stringent on the points this time, because people done so very, very well. It come down to only a small number of points being out. I mean, so I think bans, I ban things 5 points, 4 points, 3 points, 2 points, 1 point. Anyone who answers anything always gets 1 point. But it was very, very close in this one, and part 2 as well. So 225 yards. Which is interesting. So if you look at a zero handicap golfer from 225 yards, they will average 4 shots to get the ball in the hole 50% of the time. Now, of course, there's other ones that are made up with, on one side, obviously, if they were higher handicap, the other 50% will be made up of more than that. But you can see obviously with the zero handicap, but it's at 225 yards. There you go. Some people thought it was longer, some people thought it was shorter. A lot of people thought it was shorter, but again, a lot of people got it very, very close. So they either saw the same source size. These are all ARCOS data, by the way, but at least they were very, very close. Right, let's go to part 2. So let's quickly go back to the answer, or the question. So the question I'm reading from the other screen here is part 2 was from 125 yards. What is the percentage of times a 20 handicap golfer takes 5 or more shots to hole out? 5. That's a lot. 5. Should we go to the answer straight away? Let's go to the answer straight away. 20%. Here you go. And a lot of people done very, very well on that. So 1 in 5 times a 20 handicap golfer is taking 5 or more shots to get the ball in the hole from 125 yards. The mistakes from the 0 handicaps and the 5 handicaps and the 10 handicaps, etc., are nowhere near as high. And this is the thing. This is where the biggest difference when you look at the spread of handicaps, it really, really isn't the amount of birdies that one handicap will make over the other. If you look at the spread of handicaps between a scratch golfer and a 20 handicap golfer, they hardly average that much difference in birdies per round. Really, it doesn't, we're not talking there's 5 shots difference in birdies. It's very, very small. What the big difference is between a good golfer and a not so good golfer is the chasm of which there is between their bad shots. And this is where golfers need to understand. Stop necessarily practicing the part of which you are good at already. Of course, you still need to continue to practice to make sure that you keep that as a skill set, but there are other parts of your game, and this is where obviously the likes of ARCOS, etc., and there's other ones, ShotScope, etc., and other things. You have like the free apps on your phone. They do a very, very good job, generally speaking, but obviously ARCOS is one of the best, of managing and understanding where you need to look at your practice. Where are you missing your shots as a pattern, not as a singular round, because again, when it comes to driver, everyone has a little bit of a I've forgotten the amount of times that someone comes in for a lesson and then you do the meet and greet and stuff like that, and then you say, right, okay, so what do you want to work on today? What do you feel are your weaknesses within the game? What are we going to do? And they turn around and say, driver. Yeah, driver's terrible. Like, driver does this, driver does that, right? And so obviously if they look at stats, they have stats or anything else like that, and obviously when you see them hit shots, you see their patterns and you see them missing. Yes, you do. But you look at them and you go, well, do you know, for your handicap, your drive is actually pretty good. Oh, no, it's terrible. Yeah, but golf is not made up of pretty pictures, lovely shots down on the fairway that you see the PGA Tour guys constantly do. Golf is made up of trying to ensure that your driver obviously goes as far as it can do down there, but it just does one thing for you, stays in play. The ones that really hurt you are the ones that you lose, the ones that you go into OB, the ones that basically cause you a penalty shot. And this is where the big difference is between a 0 handicap and say a 20 handicap. They are much, much better at keeping the big numbers off the scorecard, and that is the biggest overwhelming factor of when you look at the differences between handicaps. That, and obviously distance as a general rule. Obviously the 0 handicaps do hit the golf ball longer, and so they have an advantage that way. But when you're looking at mistakes made, as in like wild mistakes, they just make less of them. And this is the thing. So generally speaking, guys, when it comes to your lessons, build your lessons around making sure that you have a skill set. Yeah, you keep your skill sets, whatever it is, whatever you're good at, keep it. Brilliant, yes. But make sure you look at other realms of the game that you can see that are potentially penalising you greater than you think, and ones that are causing those scorecards to go up. So there we go. So that's what it was. Perry's in the house also. Evening, finally made it through. Up-teen adverts. Really? Oh my word. Sorry about that. This series has opened my eyes to not so monumental differences between the handicaps. Practice the game from green to tee. Yes, absolutely there are. When you look at the differences between handicaps, it is amazing just how little there is when it comes to the good side of things, the birdie side of things. But when you look at the doubles, at the bogeys, at the doubles and the triples, there is a huge chasm of difference between that, say, of a 0 handicap, 5 handicap, and then a 15, 20, or 25 handicap. That idea, it makes a big, big, big difference. It really, really does. Right, there we go. So let's go have a quick look at the leaderboard, shall we? Let's go see how well everyone did. It was a very, very tight answer pack because everyone got with very few exceptions. There was a couple of weird and wonderful ones which effectively were outliers from the pack, and so this is one of the closest marked rounds of all of them so far. So let's have a quick look at the leaderboard. Leaderboard's back there. I want to make sure that I turn it on at a point, because it's scrolling through. I want to make sure I turn it on at a point of where no one can see a sneak peek of what's going on at the top. Right, I can then flick it through about now. That's fine, that's no worries. There we go. You can see we're down to tied 52, 63 and stuff like that. People that have only got 5 or 4 points. The people who basically have only entered for 1 round. Remember, you can get 5 points for a bang on answer, and there was 3 people that got bang on, and there was that close when it comes to the spread of the answers. Really, the only people that got 5 points were the people that got it bang on. Everyone else, again, there was a small variance. There we go. So Neil's got 68, William's got 62, so there's been a 1 point lead gain from Neil's. Aaron and Wasteland also gained, I think, 5 points off the top of my head, so they are getting closer. Ian, oh no, it's gone through. I really need to change the speed, or actually just stop it would be nice. But again, people can scroll through, you can see if your name's on there, and for a bit of fun. And this whole idea, okay, we're trying to do it for a bit of fun, obviously, so people learn different things and how they can see the best way at trying to increase their skill on the golf course and decrease their score. But we're also doing this for a bit of fun when it comes to someone who eventually, this is hole 15, we've only got 16, 17, 18 to go, will win a custom fit set of irons from either 11 golf or sub 70. Guys, people that are on sub 70, right? I'm releasing a video on Sunday. You are really going to want to watch that because I have a promo code in the Sunday's video, which is going to basically, as soon as I can find it, there you go, right, it's in front of me. The promo code will give you the opportunity to get a free laser rangefinder with every sub 70 iron set. Doesn't matter what the iron set is. Obviously, I've got a video for a sub 70 iron coming on Sunday afternoon. It doesn't have to be that one. It can be any sub 70 iron set. That's no worries whatsoever. Use my promo code and yes, you will get yourself a free laser rangefinder. It does the old vibration technology when you hit the pin, and it also does the all important slope function where you can have red and green as you see there, and it will do the slope calculation obviously for uphill need more club, downhill need less club, and it will give you an adjusted yardage as well. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. If you are going to buy a sub, okay, if you're not going to buy a sub 70 iron set, don't buy an iron set on the basis you're going to get a free rangefinder. No, but if you are going to buy one, but there you go, why not use that? So keep an eye on that one video. If you could watch that one would be brilliant. Obviously it's great for the algorithm and great for YouTube and me. So there we go. We've got a decent spread. We've only got 3 more holes to go. Remember, this is a match play Stapleford kind of idea, where effectively we got 6 point lead, I think now that Niels has over William, if I remember off the top of my head, but it doesn't matter. And so if we get to the last hole and Niels has got more than a 5 point head start on that one, then he's going to win. So we will see. We're 6 points in it at the moment. That is it. So obviously there's 3 more to go, hopefully, maybe 2, maybe 3. But Niels and William, whatever you do, you make sure you keep a mind out for these, because do not forget, please do not forget an episode or realise that it's happened and you haven't answered, because obviously they will tumble down the leaderboard and someone will pip you to it. So again, it's all to play for still. Right, guys, that is basically it. Harry says, still in the top 10, lol. And that is good, Harry, considering you do very little in the way of research. You don't do, you basically have a sit down, you have a think in your head and go, that sounds about right. And you do exceptionally well considering you do that, and you hardly ever research anything. It is all off the top of your head. You're doing very, very well. Most people to do well on this will have to research for a while to try, and that's the whole idea. That's what I want to try and do. Is I want to try and enlighten people. So when they're not just looking for my, because they're looking for the answers to the question that I pose, but they're also learning other things at the same time. That's the whole idea. And William says, Niels, want to go get a drink for me? I promise not to spike your drink. So it's the next question. Brilliant, William. Yes. I think that, yes, it will be a case of Niels will be making sure that he's got his drink to his chest to make sure no one gets hold of that thing. All it takes is literally one episode, and William, you are there. You are right on his tail. So yeah, anyone at the top 4, 5, do not miss an episode. So we've only got a few more to go. Right, so guys, remember we have the live stream on Monday evening, 7 o'clock UK time. For the members, we'll be going into some behind the scenes stuff and information that I've got coming forward. So again, if you want to be a member of the channel, it's only £3.99 a month, less than a coffee at Starbucks, Costa, or any other place which sells coffee. I didn't realise how expensive that has got. It was something like £4.55, £4.90 or something for a coffee. Yep, I'm out of touch. So it's less than a coffee when it comes to being a member of the channel, and it's a great help for me as well when it comes to supporting the channel as well. So I appreciate if you would join, if you would think about it. There's other options on there if you want help with your swing, etc. But there you go. So Perry says, I'll be there. No more gradings for Mini Ninja for 6 months now. I'll be looking forward to it on Monday. Right, so, right guys, thanks very much for watching it. As always, keep an eye out on the channel for the next episode from Stats to Strokes, and also that video, which is coming on Sunday, which obviously I am reviewing a sub 70 iron. I do many, but I'm reviewing a certain sub 70 iron. And remember, if you are going to get a sub 70 iron set, then just use the promo code that's going to be in that video on Sunday, and you will get yourself a free laser rangefinder. There you go, why not? William said thumbs up, and Pete says struggle to find ARCOS data, so end up guessing. Everyone done a very, very good job of their guesses, by the way. Tossed a coin between 20 and 25 this week, lost again. Yeah, you've done fairly well though, considering it was a complete and utter guess. So, well done everyone, thank you very much for joining in as always. Remember to continue to support the channel. It is greatly appreciated, and we will see everybody again very soon.